Today, I'm going to prove to you why the cane is the best self-defense tool. But first, let's go over what actually is a self-defense tool. It has to be legal to carry, and for me being in the UK, that kind of rules out a lot of things already. And for something to be legal to carry here, it has to have another purpose than it's for self-defense. Otherwise, you're just carrying a weapon. So some examples are torches, keychains, car window breakers, shopping bag holders. A reason to carry it that's not for an altercation. But what makes a good self-defense tool? Well, it has to be easy to carry and easy and quick to use as well. If you have to take off your bag and take it out, it's going to be useless, isn't it? You won't have enough time to do that. And how effective is it actually to use? Will it actually give you a significant advantage over your opponent? And how many situations can you actually use it in? I would also add it has to be non-lethal as well. If you find yourself doing too much damage, you can actually find yourself in more trouble than your opponent who's come up to you. So that being said, you might start to see why the cane is pretty good. Of course, legal to carry anywhere. You can go right through airport security and they won't even notice it. You can carry it anywhere and it's very effective. The cane can do a surprising amount of damage. A channel I used to help out on called Sons of Cane did a video called Cane versus Bone, where they strung up pig bones and then they swung the cane at it, smashing through the bones.
Ready? Yeah.
And these bones are equivalent to human bones, so you can do a fair bit of damage. There'll be a link in the description if you want to see that video. So if you swing this cane at someone, it doesn't matter where it lands. You can hit the ankles, hit the legs, hit this on the knee would be really nasty, the ribs, the arms, any of that will cause a lot of damage. Now I would say hitting the head with one of these, I wouldn't recommend. It could cause brain damage, if not be fatal. It's a lot like a baseball bat swing. I would much prefer to go neck and below. I would always go neck and below with my strikes. It's just like swinging a baseball bat, though this is faster and can come from more directions. It's also really good at something I call area denial. So maybe you don't want to fight. Maybe there's multiple people. Well, the cane's really good at that as well. Just by swinging the cane, people are going to back off. Trust me, it's quite intimidating when you're on the other end of this. And some people think that, oh well, I'll just reach out and grab the cane, but really, if you try and reach out to stop this cane, it will break all your fingers. But there's actually two moves with this that's really good for area denial, are really effective and really easy to do. But for that, I've got to go outside. Now unfortunately, I've decided to film this in December, so it's quite windy, it's cold, and it's probably going to rain in a second, so I'm going to keep this quick. Of course, swinging the cane is going to warn people off. But this move's called the figure of 8. It's super simple to do. Get quite fast with it. And when you're faced with that, people do move away. You can move around with it. And you can strike with it. Now the second move is called the helicopter. intimidating. And of course, like the figure of 8, you can strike from it as well. And you can link them all together as well. A good thing about the cane as well is that people don't see it as a threat. They see it as almost as a disadvantage. They don't take notice of it. You know, if you were to pull out a Kubertan or a car window breaker or anything like that, as soon as you pull it out, your attacker will notice it and maybe try to wrestle you with it. But with the cane, people just don't look at it. And this allows you to basically have your first hit completely free. So it could be like, oh, please don't hurt me, backing off, being submissive, and then as long as you don't show a lot of tail like that. That first upswing from the ground up is devastating, and it's basically free for you. Of course, you know, if you pick up your cane, you start doing this, yeah, then they're going to notice it, they're going to grab it, and then you've got to kind of wrestle over it. So those are 2 moves, or 3 moves if you count the swings, that are very effective, do a lot of damage, super easy to do. But what if you aren't in a big open space where you can do these nice big swings? What if you're at home or in a small space, or your attacker is already very close to you? Well, the cane can cover that as well. So as you can see, I'm now in my house in a small environment. You might see some Christmas decorations up. Oh. But as we know, crime doesn't stop for Christmas. So here we are. Of course, my address is very close in. I don't have the room. So yeah, I can't do these big swings. I can possibly do this technique like this. It's not massively strong. It's even harder if you're trying to do it on this side. I'm not a huge fan of strikes going right to left, but you can bring the cane up and use 2 hands on it. So for things like that, hitting anywhere on the face really, on the forehead, the nose, the chin, it's going to really hurt. Getting hit like this is definitely going to buy you a lot of time, if not, maybe even stop your attacker. This also really works from a grab as well. Maybe they've got 2 hands on you. Imagine 2 hands on me. I can bring this up and over, pull down to bring them forward, and then hit them. But not only do we have this technique, but we can also draw our right hand back and our left hand forward, a lot like a karate punch, like that. Not as devastating, but it'll buy you time for your next technique, or maybe to create some distance. Of course, strike that side, strike back on that side as well. You can hit with this side, so coming down or coming up. Don't do that on your bag though, because these two holes have been caused by the crook of the cane piercing the bag. I also have these bayonet strikes. So, two ends of the cane, anywhere on the sternum, the throat if you can aim that well. You probably can't. You can guard, strike in, strike. Then maybe you can, I'm out of shot, but if you create distance, you could do your bigger and heavier swings. In the conservatory now, just because I wanted to show these moves with a bit more power and not having to worry about hitting the light above me. So. So the cane even works close in as well. Also I have the crook of the cane, so if they're doing a grab and punch, you know, the classic grab, pull back, and they have me grab this side, hook the cane on their arm, pull their arm down, bring them off balance, and maybe even bring the cane back up. So there's multiple things you can do close range. It's not optimal for the cane, of course. That kind of mid-long range is the best, but not all fights are fought at that distance. But using these techniques, you can create distance. You know, if you hit these in the face, on the sternum or the chest, they might be able to back off. You might be able to buy yourself some time to do these bigger, heavier swings. So I hope I convinced you why the cane is a lot better than you think, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Bear in mind it is my very first video on this channel, so it's probably not amazing, let's be honest. But if you did enjoy it, press the like button, press subscribe. I might start an Instagram as well, so you can follow me on there. Everything will be in the description. And I hope you stick around to see what else I'll be making.